discussed orders, decree, and judgments. What did we do last class? What did we discuss?
Ma'am, orders between
Yes.
order and decree.
Yes. What else?
Ma'am, we did consent decree also.
What were the different types of decrees that we discussed?
Ma'am, till now or in the last class?
We had discussed orders in the last class, but when you mentioned consent decrees, then I asked you what are the different types of decrees that we discussed till now.
Ma'am, preliminary decree, final decree, composite decree, which is partly preliminary and partly final. Then there is deemed decree, then ex parte decree, then void and illegal decree, and then the last is compromised decree.
Yes. And now, okay. Now what will we discuss about orders in the last class? Sarthak, you raised your hand.
Ma'am, I was having a doubt relating to preliminary decree and final decree.
Go on, please.
Ma'am, Order 20, Rule 12. Ma'am, there are many subclauses given, and we segregated them on the basis of whether they are final or preliminary decree. Ma'am, can we do that again? I'm getting confused in these provisions.
Okay. In partition decree, we divided it between preliminary decree and final decree. Can someone repeat what we did, why we called one part of it as a preliminary and one part of it as final? In a partition decree, which is preliminary, which is final?
When we discussed that in a partition decree, if the court decides that if there are 3 children of a man, then each children will get 1/3 share. It is a preliminary decree, and a final decree will give the respective shares of the children to them.
Yeah. Yes, Arthur.
Ma'am, not for the partition, but for decree for possession and men's profit. Ma'am, that one.
Decree for?
Decree for possession and main profit.
Decree for possession and main profits. Okay, one part is preliminary, one part is final. Okay, who would like to answer this? In a decree for possession, the court says, yes, your right to possession remains. But a court orders an inquiry for determining the amount of main profits. Right? So then what do we do? Which is preliminary, which is final?
When courts decide that the possession should be granted, then it is preliminary decree, and when the courts finally decides the main profit, then it is final decree.
Yes. Any doubts, Sarthak?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Now, what did we discuss about orders in the last class? Okay, what are orders? Where are orders defined?
Section 2, clause 14.
What does section 2, clause 14 tell you?
Orders are formal expression of the court, which are not decree.
So, how do you understand an order in your own language?
And if something is not qualified under section 2, clause 2, and it is adjudication by the court, then it is an order of the court.
Then it is an order of the court, right? And give me an example of an order.
Temporary injunction.
And is awarding compensatory cost an order?
Yes, ma'am.
Under which section is compensatory cost covered?
Section 358, clause 1.
358.
Section 35A.
Section 35A. And which provision says that which provision makes section 35A an order?
Ma'am, section 104.
Section 104 tells you, and then what is so special about section 35A? Are orders appealable?
Ma'am, they can be only appealed once and not twice.
They can be only appealed once,
Ma'am,
but not twice. Can all orders be appealed?
Ma'am, orders are not generally appealable,
No, ma'am.
but then there are certain orders which are made appealable, but just once. They cannot be appealed second time.
Okay. Under which, where is it written that some of the orders are appealable and some of them are not?
Ma'am, section 104.
Section 104. So section 104 tells you, and then we discuss what are the orders which section 104 discuss. Which orders does it make appealable?
Compensatory orders.
Hmm.
Order with public nuisance.
Hmm.
Public charities.
Hmm. Order, what is the order it makes appealable under public nuisance and public charity?
Ma'am, if order is made to refuse to institute a suit, then it is
Exactly.
appealable.
And how can you institute a suit for a public nuisance or a public charity? How can you institute a suit for a public? Who can institute a suit for a public nuisance or a public charity?
Ma'am, either the Advocate General
or two or more persons. Okay? And if they are refused the leave, and do they require court permission to institute a suit?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And then, and if that is refused, then what happens? Then is such an order appealable?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it makes that appealable. And then what else is appealable? Which all other orders are appealable?
Ma'am, an order under section 95. And then
Okay. What is an order under section 95?
Order imposing a fine for obtaining arrest, attachment, or injunction on the insufficient grounds.
Insufficient grounds, right? Okay. And then you can order compensation. What is the maximum amount of compensation that you can give under this provision?
50,000.
50,000. So if you make a compensation of
50,000.
So if the court makes a compensation, awards a compensation of 50,000, is such an order appealable? In the case of unlawful, in the case of obtaining an order of arrest on insufficient grounds, the court makes an award of 50,000 rupees. And is such an order appealable?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. This is appealable because under section 104 makes a section 95 order appealable. Now, what are the different orders under 43? So order 43 also gives you appeals from orders. So it gives you another list of orders which are appealable. Which are those orders? Okay, let's read it one by one. Okay. Prashant, are you there? I don't think Prashant is. Okay. Komal, can you read out the first part?
Yes, ma'am. Rule 1. Appeals from orders. An appeal shall lie from the following orders under the provisions of section 104, namely A. An order under Rule 10 of 7 returning a plaint to be presented to the proper court, except where the procedure specified in Rule 10A of the Order 7 has been followed.
What does
C,
Order 7
an order
Okay, wait. What does Order 7 Rule 10 talk
under
about?
Rule 9 of Order.
What does Order 7 Rule 10 talk about?
turning up.
Sorry?
I'm returning a plane to be presented to the proper court.
Yes. So is such an order appealable?
Yes, ma'am.
The order 43 makes an order of returning a plaint appealable. And an order of rejection of plaint, is it appealable?
Rejection
Yes,
of plaint
ma'am.
decree is always appealable.
A rejection of plaint is appealable. Is it an order?
Decree.
It's a
Ma'am,
what
deemed
kind of a decree?
Deemed decree.
Yeah, it's a deemed decree, right? So rejection of plaint is appealable because it is a deemed decree and decrees are appealable. But an order of returning of plaint is an order and it is made appealable under order 43. Okay? Right. Now what is the next part, Komal? Can you read it out?
Ma'am, order under Rule 9 of Order 9 rejecting an application in a case of open to appeal for an order to set aside the dismissal of a suit.
Now what does order 9 rule 9 talk about? Order 9 rule 9 क्या कहता है?
Ma'am, decree against the plaintiff by default bars fresh suit.
हाँ, तो जब what do you do when only the defendant appears and the plaintiff does not appear? We discussed 3 situations. Plaintiff आता है, defendant नहीं आता, defendant आता है, plaintiff नहीं आता है, या फिर दोनों parties नहीं आती हैं. ठीक है? अब defendant आता है, plaintiff नहीं आता है. What did we discuss in that? That is written in rule 8. उसमें क्या लिखा हुआ है?
The plaint will be dismissed.
Dismissal of the suit.
You can make an order that the suit is dismissed. ठीक है?
Yes,
अब उसका consequence दिया गया है rule 9 में. What does rule 9 say?
Ma'am, where a suit is wholly or partly dismissed under Rule 8, the plaintiff shall be precluded from bringing a fresh suit in respect of the same cause of action.
Yes.
But he may apply for an order to set aside the dismissal.
Now he applies for an order to set aside the dismissal. ठीक है? After the court makes such an order, is that order appealable?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is it written?
Ma'am, order 43.
ठीक है? तो order 43 में ये order 9 rule 9 वाला order is made appealable. Understood, everyone? Okay. Okay. Komal, read out the next part.
An order under Rule 13 of Order 9 rejecting an application in a case open to appeal for an order to set aside a decree passed ex parte.
Now what does order 9 rule 13 say?
Ma'am, setting aside decree ex parte against the defendant.
हाँ, ठीक है, setting aside. So when do you pass an ex parte decree against the defendant?
When ma'am defendant doesn't appear before the court.
When the defendant does not appear in the court and it is proved that summons have been issued, the court can make an ex parte decree against the defendant, right? And then if you want to set aside the ex parte decree under order 9 rule 13, you will file an application to set aside the ex parte decree. After the court makes an order of either setting aside or refusing to set aside, is such an order appealable? Is such an order appealable?
Yes, ma'am.
Now in both order 9 rule 9 and order 9 rule 13, what has been made appealable? If the court accepts and refuses to sets aside this thing, is that order appealable? Or if the court rejects an application for setting aside, is that order appealable?
Rejecting of an application is appealable.
So which means that if the court refuses to set aside an application of an ex parte decree, that order is appealable. But if the court sets aside the ex parte decree, is such an order appealable?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
So the question is that what order is appealable? Because order 43 is very specific when it says, so if the court, if an ex parte decree has been passed against one party, the party goes to the higher court, the court for getting it set aside, right? And the court sets aside the ex parte decree. Is that order appealable?
No, ma'am. If
Why?
the application is rejected, then only it is appealable.
Only then it is appealable. And the same goes for the order 9 rule 9 only. Only if that application is rejected, then it's appealable. But if it is accepted, then it's not appealable, right? Everyone is following?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Komal, read out the next part.
Ma'am, F, an order under Rule 21 of Order 11.
Order.
And ma'am, Order 11, Rule 21 states non-compliance with the order for discovery.
What does it say? What does order 11?
Non-compliance with the order for discovery.
Non-compliance with the order of discovery. So what is written in that order?
Where any party fails to comply with any order to answer interrogatives or for discovery or inspection of document, he shall, if a plaintiff, be liable to have his suit dismissed for want of prosecution, and if a defendant to have his defense, if any, struck out, and to be placed in the same position as if
Yes.
not defended, and the party interrogating or seeking discovery or inspection for an order to that effect, an order made on such application accordingly after notice of the parties and after.
So now,
Ma'am, may I
so now, yeah, have you completed?
Part 2 is remaining.
Yeah, no, that's not required. So what is order or rule 21 of order 11 talking about? Says if you do not comply with the interrogatories, if you are the plaintiff, then your suit can be dismissed for want of prosecution, and if you're the defendant, your right of defense can be struck out. And when a court makes such an order, is such an order appealable? Is such an order appealable if the court makes such an order?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right. Okay, everybody is with me on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now, now I want Pranav, can you start reading from the next part?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so subclause I says an order under Rule 34 of Order 21 on an objection to the draft of a document or of an endorsement.
What does Order 21 Rule 34 talk about? Read it out, please. Okay, what does Order 21 talk about, guys?
Summary suits.
No. What does Order 21 talk about? Does it
execution?
Execution. ठीक है? तो execution कब होता है CPC में?
The decree is passed or order is passed. Decree is passed.
Exactly. When a decree is passed, when an order is passed, right? तो फिर तब execution उसके बाद, and if the other party does not comply with the order, then the decree holder can go to the court and file an application for execution, right? That is called execution. So can orders be executed?
Ma'am, only those orders which are expressively mentioned in CPC can be.
Those orders which are expressly mentioned in the CPC are appealable.
Orders can.
But orders otherwise, Order 21 talks about execution, and it talks about
all orders
execution
can
of both
be
decrees and orders.
Executed.
Okay? And right now under 43 we are discussing those orders which are appealable. Okay? So one of the orders which are appealable is also given under Order 21 Rule 34. Okay? So let's read out Order 21 Rule 34. Sarthak, please go on.
Decree for execution of document or endorsement of a negotiable instrument. Where a decree is for the execution of a document or for the endorsement of negotiable instrument and the judgment debtor neglects or refuses to obey the decree holder may prepare a draft of the document or endorsement in accordance with the terms of the decree and deliver the same to the court. Second, the court shall thereupon cause the draft to be served on the judgment debtor, therefore, with a notice requiring his objections, if any, to be made within such time as the court fixes in this behalf. Third, where the judgment debtor objects to the draft, his objection shall be stated in writing within such time, and the court shall make such order approving or altering the draft as it thinks fit. Fourth, the decree holder shall deliver to the court a copy of the draft with such alterations, if any, as the court may have directed upon the proper stamp paper if a stamp is required by the law for the time being in force, and the judge or such officer as may be appointed in this behalf shall execute the document so delivered. Fifth, the execution of document or the endorsement of a negotiable instrument under this rule may be
All
in
right,
the
stop,
following.
stop, stop. So what do you understand by Order 21 Rule 34? What do you understand? Basically, we're talking about execution of a document over here, right?
Ma'am, if the document is to be executed and the judgment debtor doesn't follow the execution order, then the decree holder can give a draft to the court stating that these are the things he want to be executed. And thereafter, the court has to give the copy to the decree judgment debtor, and judgment debtor can raise his objections. And thereafter, then court can consider these things and pass an order.
Right. And when the court passes an order, is that order appealable?
Yes, ma'am.
That order is appealable. Okay? Everybody is clear on this?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what is the next one, Sarthak? Can you read it out?
Ma'am, in J part of order 43, rule 1, it is given that an order under rule 72 or rule 92 of order 21 setting aside or refusing to set aside a sale.
Okay. Now, what does Order 21 Rule 72 talk about? Read out Order 21 Rule 72.
Order 21 rule 72, decree holder not to bid for or buy property without permission. No holder of a decree in execution of which property is sold shall, without the express permission of the court, bid or purchase the property.
2 and 3 also.
Second, where decree holder purchases, amount of decree may be taken as payment. Where a decree holder purchases with such permission, the purchase money and the amount due on the decree may, subject to the provisions of section 73, be set off against one another, and court executing the decree shall enter up satisfaction of decree in the whole or in part accordingly. Third, where a decree holder purchases by himself or through another person without such permission, the court may, if it thinks fit, on the application of the judgment debtor or any other person whose interests are affected by the sale, by order set aside the sale and the cost of such application and order, and any deficiency of price which may happen on the resale, and all expenses attending it shall be paid by the decree holder.
Now, what happens here is that it is said, now we know what is execution, right? We know that if a one party does not comply with the decree, then the decree holder can go to the court for execution of the order against the judgment debtor. Now, the thing is, if a property of the judgment debtor is being sold, then the rule as which is given in Rule 72 is that the decree holder cannot go and bid for that property. And if the decree holder has to go and buy that property, which is being auctioned, then the decree holder must take prior permission of the court. Now, if you come to Rule 72 clause 3, it says that if the decree holder purchases himself or through another person without such permission, then the judgment debtor may apply to the court and the court may set aside such sale. Right? Now, when the court passes an order of setting aside the sale, or when the court passes an order refusing to set aside the sale, is such an order appealable?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, this is given in order 43. Okay? Okay. Now, Sarthak, read out what is written in Rule 92.
Yes, ma'am. Order 21, Rule 92. Sale when to become absolute or be set aside. Where no application is made under Rule 89, Rule 90, or Rule 91, or where such application is made and disallowed, the court shall make an order confirming the sale, and thereupon the sale shall become absolute.
Hmm.
Provided that where any property is sold in execution of a decree pending the final disposal of any claim to or any objection to the attachment of such property, the court shall not confirm such sale until the final disposal of such claim or objection.
Hmm.
Second, where such application is made and allowed, and where in the case of an application under Rule 89, the deposit required by that rule is made within 60 days from the date of sale, or in case where the amount deposited under Rule 89 is found to be deficient owing to any clerical or arithmetical mistake on the part of the depositor, and such deficiency has been made good within such time as may be fixed by the court shall make an order setting aside the sale, provided that no order shall be made unless notice of the application has been given to all persons affected thereby. Provided further that the deposit under this sub-rule may be made within 60 days in all such cases where the period of 30 days within which the deposit had to be made has not expired before the commencement of the Code of Civil Procedure Amendment Act 2002. Third,
Okay, now stop here. Now what happens is, we know what is execution of a decree. We've discussed there are two parties in a suit. One is judgment debtor, one is decree holder. Whoever party is the court's side is entitled to get the claim is known as a decree holder, and the other party is known as a judgment debtor. So if the court decides the claim and then the court passes a decree, thereafter the judgment debtor does not comply with the decree, so the decree holder files an application to the court for execution of a decree. Now the court says that the judgment debtor has immovable property and we can sell that immovable property, and the proceeds of it can be utilized to satisfy the claim of the decree holder, right? Now when you've sold the immovable property, Rule 92 says the sale will only become absolute when the court shall make an order confirming the sale, and thereupon the sale shall become absolute. This is the first part, right? But if there are any objections, suppose you have sold the property, but thereafter any third party comes and object and says that how can you sell the property? This property is not only belonging to the judgment debtor, this property is also belonging to me, and therefore my rights cannot get affected. So something like this, if some kind of an objection is made in this regard, then the court shall not confirm the sale until the final disposal of such claim or objection is made. And when an application is such an allowed, then the court will do it within 60 days, and then the court can accordingly pass an order of either confirming the sale or setting aside the sale. And when a court passes such an order, is that order appealable?
Yes.
Okay? You understood the procedure in Rule 92. You understood what is the situation.
Ma'am,
Yes,
can you
ma'am.
repeat once?
Okay, I'll repeat. Okay. Now tell me, who are the two parties in a suit?
Ma'am, in suit of
In any civil suit, who are the two parties?
ma'am, plaintiff and defendant.
Plaintiff and defendant. Now the court has decided in favor of the defendant. Now the defendant becomes which party?
Ma'am, decree holder.
Decree holder, and the plaintiff becomes a judgment debtor. Now what happens is the judgment debtor does not comply with the decree. Now what will the decree holder do?
Ma'am, he will move forward for execution of the decree.
He will move forward for execution of a decree, and then the court says that the judgment debtor has immovable property and we can sell that immovable property, and the proceeds of that immovable property can be utilized for satisfying the claim of the decree holder, right? Now the Rule 92 says is कि अगर हम immovable property को sell करते हैं, then the sale will only become absolute when the court makes an order confirming the sale. ठीक है? And then the next part of Rule 92 is that any court can invite applications from the third party. जैसे if any third party objects saying that ये property तो सिर्फ judgment debtor की है ही नहीं, even I have a share in that property, right? So the court will have to adjudicate upon the this thing of the objections to the attachment of the property, and thereafter it can pass an order for setting aside the sale, or it can make an order confirming the sale. Now, when the court makes such an order, is such an order appealable under Order 43?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, ये वाली situation है. Right.
Ma'am, it is a bit off the topic, ma'am, but there was this line given in the notes which are provided on LMS. After the 1976 amendment, execution no longer formed a part of a decree. Ma'am, what does it mean?
After the
1976 amendment,
hmm,
execution no longer formed a part of a decree.
as in now, what the system is that the plaintiff will file a suit. During the pendency of a suit, the court will pass several orders. In the culmination of the suit, the court will pass a judgment, which is a detailed order deciding which party is entitled to the claim. On the basis of the judgment, the court will pass a decree, and then it stops there, right? After that, and then it is assumed that whoever the decree is passed against will comply with the decree. In case you don't comply with the decree, then you have to file an application for execution. So now these become two different procedures. Now, execution application will have to be filed again, and you will have to restart the things. So it just becomes different procedures. So it's not it's not going to flow from the fact that you pass a decree. You will have to file a separate application for execution.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now, who's going to read out? Lakshita?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you read out the next part, please?
Yes, ma'am. 1 second, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, I think Lakshita will take time. Are you going to take time, Lakshita? Komal, can you read out the next part, please?
Yes, ma'am. JA, an order rejecting an application made under sub rule 1 of rule 106 of order 21, provided that an order on the original application, that is to say, the application referred to in sub rule 1 of rule 105 of that order is appealable.
So read out Order 21, Rule 105 and Rule 106.
Order 21, Rule 105, Hearing of Application. Clause 1. The court before which an application under any of the foregoing rules of this order is pending may fix a date for hearing of the application. Clause 2. Where on the day fixed or any other day to which the hearing may be adjourned, the applicant doesn't appear. When the case is called on for hearing, the court may make an order that the application be dismissed. Clause 3, where the applicant appears and the opposite party to whom the notice has been issued by the court doesn't appear, the court may hear the application ex parte and pass such order as it thinks fit. Explanation. An application referred to in sub-rule 1 includes a claim or objection made under Rule 58.
Read out Rule 106.
Rule 106. Setting aside orders passed ex parte, etc. Clause 1. The applicant against whom an order is made under Sub-rule 2 of Rule 105 for the opposite party against whom an order is passed ex parte under Sub-rule 3 of that order, that rule, or under Sub-rule 1 of Rule 23 may apply to the court to set aside the order. And if he satisfies the court that there are sufficient cause for his non-appearance when the application was called for hearing, the court shall set aside the order on such terms as to cost or otherwise as it thinks fit, and shall appoint a day for further hearing of the application. Clause 2. No order shall be made on an application under Sub-rule 1 unless notice of the application has been served on the opposite party. Clause 3. No, an application under Sub-rule 1 shall be made within 30 days from the date of order, or where in case of ex parte order, the notice was not duly served within 30 days from the date when the applicant had knowledge of the order.
Okay. Now, what is happening here is, now suppose the court has passed a decree, right? And then the court has passed, court is hearing an application wherein you have to, the court has, in this case, when you read out from this part, Rule 97 onwards, okay, and the subheading in this part is resistance to delivery or possession to decree holder or purchaser. Now, in this court, basically what has happened is the court has already executed, like court has determined in the has made an order in its execution application. Now, what is the order it has made? It has made an order that this property is going to be delivered to the decree holder. This property belonging to the judgment debtor is going to be delivered to the decree holder, right? Now, or some XYZ purchaser has bought the property in a court auction. Basically, judgment debtor was not able to repay the decree holder, and therefore the property of the judgment debtor was put to sale. The property was sold, and now that property should be possession of that property should be handed over to the purchaser. Okay. Now, in such a case, when it is to be handed over to either the decree holder or to the purchaser, there is some resistance, right? And who's offering that resistance? Some third party is coming in saying that that property cannot be handed over to this decree holder or purchaser because even I have an interest in that property, right? So if that comes, then the court will have to adjudicate upon the claims of the third party, right? Uske baad, now we come to 105 and 106. 105 is saying that when the court before which an application is pending will hear the application. Now, on that particular date, what happens? The applicant does not come, but the other side comes. In such a case, the suit can be dismissed. Or in the next case, when the applicant appears and then the other party does not appear, then you can hear it ex parte. So then 106 is saying that you can file an application for setting aside the ex parte order, right? And if the court is satisfied that there is sufficient cause for non-appearance, the court can pass an order of setting aside. Understood this much? Understood the context of Rule 105 and Rule 106?
Ma'am, is it saying if the third party objects to the passing of execution of the decree and it files the application before the court and an ex parte order is passed in such a case, then it can be set aside?
Why will an ex parte order be passed in such a case?
Ma'am, if the applicant doesn't appear.
See, now what is happening is the execution application was filed, and in pursuance to the execution application, the property of the judgment debtor, say the judgment debtor has some property in Ghaziabad, right? So that property was sold, put to auction, and it was sold to some purchaser, right? Now the purchaser has paid the money. So what will happen is that the purchaser will be given possession of the property that is in Ghaziabad. So what happens after this is, when the purchaser is being given in possession of this property, some third party comes and says that this property never belonged to the judgment debtor. It actually belonged to me. So how could you have sold this property to satisfy the claim of the judgment debtor, right? So in such a case, the court will have to adjudicate upon that claims. Yahan tak samajh aa gaya?
Ma'am, but in this case, the court also gives the third party a right to file an objection before executing the decree and before selling such property.
No, so that happened before attachment, before sale. The court gives an option, and after sale also, the third party, there might be some resistance, right? So when the purchaser was being given possession of the property, some third party resisted to it. So what will happen is you will not allow someone to take the law in their own hands. So then the court will have to adjudicate upon the claims of that party vis-a-vis that of the judgment debtor. ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
यहाँ तक समझ आ गया कि ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट है. अब
Yes,
जब
ma'am.
वो एप्लीकेशन हम सुन रहे हैं तो उसमें वही वाला रूल लगेगा. जब हम एप्लीकेशन सुन रहे हैं, एप्लीकेंट आया नहीं आया और दूसरी पार्टी आ गई, तो हम क्या करेंगे?
Dismiss.
सूट को डिसमिस कर देंगे. अब दूसरी क्या होगा? एप्लीकेंट आया पर दूसरी पार्टी नहीं आई, तो हम क्या करेंगे?
Ma'am, ex parte order.
एक्स पार्टी कर देंगे. अब रूल 106 क्या कह रहा है? अगर एक्स पार्टी हो गया तो दूसरी पार्टी may file an application for setting aside the ex parte, and if the other side is able to show sufficient cause for non-appearance, then the court can set aside the ex parte order. ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. अब हम ऑर्डर 43 में अगर वापस आए, तो अब ऑर्डर 43 जे, कैन यू रीड आउट अगेन, कोमल?
Yes, ma'am. An order rejecting an application made under sub-rule 1 of Rule 106 of Order 21, provided that an on the original application that is
Yeah, have you provided an order on the original application, that is to say, the application referred to in 105 of that order is appealable. Now, what has it made appealable? An order rejecting an application made under Rule 106 of Order 21. So, what is the order rejecting the application under Rule 106?
if the ex parte order is filed and if the opposite party wants to set aside the ex parte order, then if such application is not allowed, then it can be appealed.
It can be appealed against. ठीक है? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's read out the next part. What is K saying?
Ma'am, an order under Rule 9 of Order 22 refusing to set aside the abatement or dismissal of a suit.
And what is the next part saying? L?
An order under Rule 10 of Order 22 giving or refusing to give leave.
Okay, let's read out Order 22, Rule 9 and 10. Okay, Komal, read out Rule 9 and 10.
Yes, ma'am. Order 22, Rule 9. Effect of abatement or dismissal. Where a suit abates or is dismissed under this order, no fresh suit shall be brought on the same cause of action. Clause 2. The plaintiff or the person claiming to be legal representative of a deceased plaintiff or the assignee or the receiver in the case of an insolvent plaintiff may apply for an order to set aside the abatement or dismissal. And if it is proved that he was prevented by any sufficient cause from continuing the suit, the court can set aside the abatement or dismissal upon such terms as the cost or otherwise as it thinks fit. Clause 3. The provisions of Section 5 or of the Indian Limitation Act 1877 shall apply to the applications under sub-rule 2. Explanation. Nothing in this rule shall be construed as barring in any later suit a defense based on the facts which constituted the cause of action in the suit which had abated or had been dismissed under this order.
What is Order 9 saying? That where a suit is abated or dismissed under this order, which means the cause of action कई बार होता है on the death of a party, the cause of action will extinguish. Then the suit gets abated. So if the suit gets abated because of this, then what will happen?
No fresh suit can be filed.
No fresh suit can be filed. But does the legal representative has any cause of action in such a case?
Yes, ma'am, if sufficient cause is shown to the court.
If sufficient cause is shown to the court, then you can get the setting aside of the abatement order. Now, what is appealable as per order 43 under this?
Ma'am,
Hmm.
can you explain the abatement of the suit?
Yeah, abatement happens अगर marriage होगी, insolvency होगी, death होगी, तो sometimes what happens is कि marriage में तो नहीं होता. Just because a female gets married doesn't mean that if she has filed a suit against the other party, that will get abated. But sometimes because of death or insolvency, whatever cause of action you had against the other party might get extinguished. ठीक है? अब अगर कुछ property claim करनी थी, वो सब extinguish हो सकता है due to some situation, right? तो अगर ऐसा हो जाता है, then the suit can get abated, right? If the suit gets abated, तो उसका effect दिया गया है rule 9 में. ठीक है? तो
Can you give an example?
Can I give an example? You think of an example. Say, why do you think a suit will get abated because of a death of a party?
If there is a contract between for personal performance, like with
Yes.
doctor or teacher, then if the doctor has died or teacher is no more, then there is no cause of action.
Exactly. So if suppose I entered into a contract with an artist, suppose a person A entered into a contract with an artist saying that the artist has to draw a portrait of this person A, and the person A dies before the contract can be executed. So in such a case, will the contract in such a case, the suit against the artist for non-performance, will it not get abated?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So then there can be, so in such a case, can the legal representative do something? In such a case, a legal representative can file a suit for
Setting aside of the order.
Yeah, for setting aside, right? So then is such an order appealable?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, such an order is appealable only when the court refuses to set aside the abatement and dismissal. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, guys, let's continue in the next class. We'll discuss this abatement concept. We'll quickly finish order 43 and then we'll move on to the difference between order and decree. All right, guys, any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, see you next class, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.